Alright class, good morning and welcome back to class again. Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cause and effect essays. So this is another rhetorical style or rhetorical mode or pattern of organization, a way to organize and present information in the form of an essay. We're going to look at these issues. First, we're going to define what cause and effect essay is, and then look at the cause and effect essay structure, the two methods or models, the block method and the chain method. Next, we're going to look at how to write cause and effect essay, then cause and effect essay topics, and finally cause and effect essay examples. All right, so what is cause and effect essay? A cause and effect essay is much simpler than it appears. It's an essay that looks at the causes of an event or why it happened and the results of the event or the effects. So, these essays help you look in detail at events and how they can be repeated or avoided. So, if the effects are positive, repeat. If the effects are negative, avoid. And so, when your purpose is to analyze, to discuss the reasons, the causes in other words, or the results, the effects in other words of something, you should use a cause or effect type of essay. And so, there are here three focuses. When you write this type of essay, you may focus on the causes only of an event, of a situation, of something. The effects. You may the causes. You may focus on the effects only. Discuss the effects of something, of an event. And you may discuss both causes and effects. Causes and effects. And so there are three strands or three subtypes, if I may say. The causes only essay, the effects only essay, and the causes and effects essay. So you may write either any of these. You may have read any of these. You may read in the future any of these. Before the class, I asked you to read two cause and effect essays. One was dealing with the causes only, the one about honey, the decline of honeybees, and the other one dealing with the effects only, the effects of the printing press, the impact of the printing press. But you haven't seen an example of an essay discussing both, but you can have an essay discussing both. Okay, next. Let's just give examples of these types of or subtypes of essays. So maybe you can call them subtypes. Subtypes. Focuses of this kind of essay. Causes only essay, for example, you may have this statement. By the way, when you're asked to write a cause or effect or both essay, you usually read a statement, a sentence. And you understand from the sentence whether you need to discuss the causes or the effects or both. For example, account for the fall of the Roman Empire. Account for the fall of the Roman Empire. So obviously here you're being asked to write about the causes that led to the fall and disintegration and end of the Roman Empire. You're being asked to write, to think, to discuss the reasons, the causes that led to the fall of the Roman Empire. Another example of a causes only essay: discuss the causes behind the 1969 race riots in Malaysia. So obviously this is a causes only essay where you're asked to discuss and analyze the causes that led to the what is known in the history of Malaysia as the race riots, the 1969 race riots. So you need to think. Remember that writing involves thinking. Writing, composing teaches thinking. You have to think, you have to plan. You have a whole stage or step before drafting, and that is a pre-writing, where you generate ideas, where you think, generate ideas, and plan your essay before you embark on drafting or writing. Okay, the effects only essay. An example of the effects only essay: discuss the WHO, the World Health Organization, and its effects on global health. So obviously you're being asked to discuss the effects of the WHO on global health. Another example: discuss the effects of MCO on society. Discuss the effects of the movement control order or lockdown, the lockdowns caused by the spread of coronavirus on society, the MCO on society, the effects. So you need to think, obviously, plan for your writing, and then write. Let's take an example of an essay that deals with both causes and effects. Discuss the causes and effects of global warming. So obviously you need to talk about the causes of global warming, what causes global warming, and then the effects of this problem on our planet. Another example: discuss the causes and effects of teen pregnancy in Malaysia. Teen pregnancy. So the issue is teen pregnancy. You need to discuss what causes teen pregnancy. How can we avoid it? So what causes it? If we know the causes, then we may avoid the problem. So what are the causes that lead to the rise in teen pregnancy in Malaysia? Every now and then you find a baby thrown near a trash can or a skimp, or where do these babies come from? We call them illegitimate children, but they are not illegitimate. No child is illegitimate. A child is innocent. The parents are illegitimate. The ones who brought him to life illegitimately. Extramarital relationships. So this is not the issue, but the point is that, so discuss the causes of teen pregnancy and the effects. So not only the causes, so you have to pay attention if you're being asked a question, whether this is an IELTS test or my own final assessment, or so you need to pay attention whether the question is asking you to write only about the causes, if it's a cause effect essay, or the effects, or both. Hi Luke. Are you a culprit?
Yes, sir.
Are you a culprit of teen pregnancy? Are you a little criminal of teen pregnancy?
Why would I be one, sir?
I am not accusing you. I am asking you, are you? I
No,
don't,
no.
I don't think that an innocent chap, young man like you will be, a culprit of such a crime.
No, sir, I will not be one.
No, not someone like you. I know. I have no doubt. Where are we? So obviously, this requires a lot of thinking and planning, and it may be some research. Certain topics would require some research to research a topic. Okay, cause and effect essay structure. There are two ways or methods or models to structure a cause and effect essay. These are known as the block method and the chain method. When we deal with the compare contrast or comparison contrast essay next week, we're going also to look at two ways or two methods, the block method and the point by point method. But let's leave this until then. Where are we? Okay, there are two different ways you can structure a cause and effect essay. These methods are called the block and the chain models or methods. The block model will look like this. You have an introduction, and then cause 1, and then cause 2, and then cause 3 if there is one, if there is more, and then you have a transition sentence towards the end of the paragraph dealing with cause 2, and then effect 1, and then effect 2. So what does this mean? You're dealing with the causes together in a block, and then the effects in another block. So you talk about the causes, you begin with the causes, and then you discuss the effects separately. But you have a sentence that leads to the transition. For example, now we're moving to the effects. So this is known as a block because you're dealing with causes first and then effects second. The other method is the chain method, where you discuss a cause and its effect. A cause and its effect immediately. A cause and effect. So this is how the chain method looks like. You have an introduction, you have cause and effect of, you have cause and then the effect of cause 1. You have cause 2 and its effect. You have cause 3 and then followed immediately by its effect. And then the conclusion. As you can see, a block essay deals with all the causes first, and then the effects, while a chain essay deals with cause and effect separately. You deal with the cause followed by the effect. Cause followed by the effect. It's up to you which model you choose. This is, of course, when you're asked to write about a cause-effect essay, a cause and effect. If you're being asked to write only about the effects, then, or only the causes, then. But in our last examples, like for example, discuss the causes and effects of global warming or teen pregnancy, then in this case you need to decide whether you're going to use the block method, where you talk about the causes of teen pregnancy, maybe 3 causes, 3 paragraphs, 2 causes, 2 paragraphs, and then the effects. So obviously, if you want to talk about 2 effects, you're gonna have 2 causes and 2 effects. You're gonna have 6 paragraphs, an introduction and a conclusion. If you're going to discuss 2 causes, so 2 paragraphs for causes and 2 paragraphs for effects. So you're going to have 6 paragraphs. If you have more causes and so more effects, then you you will have more paragraphs. All right. How to write cause and effect essay. First, research the topic at hand. Get as much evidence as you can on the causes and their effects. These will help back up your points in your final essay. Next, after you brainstorm and have enough information, write an outline. Pick one of the models listed above and think about what argument you want to put forward. Write your outline with the topic sentences, so when you come to write, when you move to the second step in the process, you'll know how to link everything together. Having done this, the pre-writing stage, now you're ready to draft your essay. Find a quiet place to write and start using your essay outline. Make sure to cover every point you need to make and that all your arguments are backed up by research. Proofread and edit. This is the final stage or step. So let's use the word revise because we're familiar with revise. Revise and edit. So before your essay is handed in, before you send it to me, take the time to proofread it. Take the time to polish it, to revise and edit it by going through the cups and the arms. This will ensure you'll get the highest marks possible for your work. Cause and effect essay topics, more examples. When given a cause and effect essay, you'll be given a statement. Account for the fall of the Roman Empire. A statement. It can be a question also, but it can also be a statement. Declarative sentence. This could be something like parents' attitudes affect sibling rivalry. Parents' attitudes affect sibling rivalry. You know, sibling rivalry, this is a concept used in, I don't know, in psychology or in sociology. Sibling rivalry. Usually brothers and sisters, have quarrels. They fight with one another. They even sometimes hate one another. So this is known as sibling rivalry. So the statement is, parents' attitudes affect sibling rivalry. So how or what are the effects of sibling rivalry? Look at this topic. Cell phone use, can it bring families closer? How? And so you need to think about the causes. How mobile phone use bring families closer? It's up to you to dig into this topic and find why this is so. Parents' attitudes affect sibling rivalry. For example, you could find evidence that people who use cell phones have more opportunities to communicate with relatives. So as a result, the relationships improve. If you want to write, if you want to try writing some essays of your own, here are some example topics you could try. These are in addition to the ones mentioned in the textbook. Video games can boost IQ. So, a statement: video games can boost IQ. Discuss why video games can boost IQ. Discuss how, rather, video games boost someone's IQ. This is a statement. This is a claim. So discuss how, for example, video games can boost IQ. So in a topic like this, so you may say in your thesis that there are, and we're going to look at the thesis in a short while, there are three main reasons why video games boost IQ. So you're gonna talk about the causes, how the causes that make video games boost IQ. For example, they make it changes in the mind. They improve psychomotor skills.
It makes you think faster.
So you can think of ideas. The fear of possible side effects makes people avoid vaccinations. So this is effects. The fear of possible side effects makes people avoid vaccination. It can be the causes. There are several reasons why people avoid vaccinations or want to avoid vaccinations. Give these a try if you want and get some practice. In the textbook there are some more examples. Now you know what makes a great essay. Use this guide to get good marks on yours. Okay, now let's whiz it through. Let's thumb it through the textbook to look for some practice and to look at some patterns for the thesis statement. Sentence patterns. Okay, so please look at page 132. These are some sentence patterns used in this type of essay. There are several causes of, reasons for, effects. For example, there are several causes of jet lag. Several causes of jet lag. Notice the use of the colon. The colon to introduce a list. Travel across 3 or more time zones. This is a cause. Poor sleep habits prior to travel. This is cause, reason number 2. And poor flight conditions. So this is an example of a thesis statement dealing with the causes. There are several bad effects of drinking too much coffee. And then notice the colon, the 2 dots, and then the list. This structure notice that this structure is used also for the process essay. I mean, you can begin your thesis statement for the process essay by using the there are construction. And similarly, for writing a division and a classification essay, you can also use the there are. And now we're dealing with cause effect essays. So to begin your thesis with there are, if you forget the other examples, you can always remember there are. Let's say you want to write a process essay. There are 3 steps involved in making pizza. So there are. You want to write a division and classification essay. Let's look at an example from the previous unit. There are 3 types of elementary schools in our city depending on how they are funded. There are 3 kinds of burns depending on how deep each one penetrates the skin surface. So there are. And today we can use this example when we talk about the causes of something or an event. Another structure or sentence pattern that also begins with there are 3, 4, several main reasons or causes why blah 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 blah. There are 3 main reasons why I want to share an apartment with a roommate. The colon and the list. There are 3 main reasons why I want to marry Emily. Colon 1, 2, 3. There are 3 reasons why one must never or one should never marry Emily. 1, 2, 3. Okay? There are 3 reasons why. There are several main reasons why. Why one should do something, one should not do something. There are 3 main reasons why my family decided to improve to a bigger city. And then the list. 1, 2, 3. Remember the colon. You don't have to have a colon. It depends on your. I mean, if you look at the example, the essay example on page 137. If you look at the thesis, no, you still have it. Parasites and the. And there is one third pattern, as you can see. For example, my parents' divorce had 3 important effects on my life. But the third pattern is only for effects. You can also say, instead of saying if you want to talk about the effects, there are 3 causes. You can say effects. There are 3 effects of global warming on our planet. Alright, can you look at the practice section? Write a thesis statement for each topic. Use a variety of sentence patterns. So at least work on 2, please. Take 5 minutes to work on at least 2 of these topics. Write a thesis using some of these patterns.